The pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Emily Swartzbaugh will provide the inspirational reading. Emily is an 8th grade student at Poquoson Middle School. Emily is the president of National Junior Honor Society at Poquoson Middle School. She is also a member of the JV field hockey team, the Poquoson High School track team, and is a member of the 8th grade Battle of the Classes team. After graduating from high school, Emily plans to attend the College of William and Mary and pursue a career in government, possibly as a lawyer.
Good evening, everyone. I am honored to have the opportunity to speak for all of you tonight. Thank you to my principal, Ms. Bunting, for giving me this opportunity. I was asked to speak words of kindness and inspiration, and I aim to succeed in doing so. It seems in our world today, there isn't adequate kindness, and those who live in hatred blame anyone and everyone else. But we are all to blame for bringing each other down rather than pulling one another up. We are the key to bringing kindness back into the world, and it's quite simple if you stop and listen for one moment. Kindness doesn't have to be shown in an extravagant act. You can be kind by just showing a smile, holding a door open, or picking up trash strewn on the floor. There are numerous ways to be kind, so I ask all of you to be kind to one another. It only takes one person to start a tidal wave of kindness that can flood the world and finally make the place we live a better, kinder place for all. Thank you and have a good night.
Next up is student presentations, and students, if you could stick around for just a few minutes after the presentation, we're going to take a short break so that we can come out and speak with you. Students in Mr. Baker's Health and Physical Education classes recently completed the nutrition unit, health education, and as an assessment, the students completed a health snack project. Here today is Mr. Baker, Health and Physical Education teacher at Poquoson Middle School, along with 6th grade students to present their healthy snack project. Students involved are Hannah Garman, Dylan Robinson, and Brenna Spear.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zachary Baker. I'm one of the health and PE teachers down at Poquoson Middle School. I brought 3 students with me tonight that are honored and excited to be here to present a fun and engaging project that these students just completed in health education. Students created a healthy snack as an alternative to the many unhealthy snack options that are in today's market, and many children choose to eat on a daily basis. Students had the options of presenting their healthy snacks via a video or a poster board. Here to present their projects are 3 6th grade students from Poquoson Middle School. Our first presenter is Dylan Robinson with his banana palm trees.
Hello, my name is Dylan Robinson, and I've created banana palm trees for my healthy snack project. The ingredients I used to make the banana palm trees were bananas, oranges, cherries, raspberries, blueberries, starfruit, kiwi, and mango. To make the banana palm trees, you must do the following steps. Gather all ingredients to be used. Wash hands well with warm, soapy water. Wash all fruit well with cold water. Prepare all fruits as following. Peel bananas, slice vertically down the middle and then in even sections across horizontally. This will form the trunk of your tree. Peel the kiwi and then slice the kiwi in half vertically. Then slice the kiwi into quarter sections to form the leaves of the palm tree. Next, slice through the starfruit to form the sun. I added a slice of banana to the middle for fun. Next, peel the orange and then separate into sections for the sand. Then hang the cherries from the tree. Then place the blueberries and raspberries in the tree for coconuts. Next, place the almonds among the oranges as shells. Finally, arrange the fruit on the plate to form the banana palm trees. The banana palm tree is a healthy snack because fruits are low in calories and fats. While they provide natural sugar, fiber, and vitamins, the dietary fiber that fruit provides helps prevent bad cholesterol, block fat, and also help with bowel movements. Also, the fruits are rich in antioxidants, which help protect against cancer and disease, stress, and the effects of aging. They also help boost the immune system. Kids may enjoy the snack because it is colorful and fun. Thank you.
Next up is Hannah Garman with her monkey chips.
The ingredients that you'll need to make monkey chips are 1 ripe banana and some lemon juice. To make the monkey chips, you must do the following steps. Preheat your oven to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Cut your banana slices into 1/8 of an inch thickness. Take out a baking sheet and cover with parchment paper. Place banana slices on the parchment paper, making sure they don't touch. Lightly brush the bananas with lemon juice. Put in the oven to bake for 90 minutes. Once the bananas are a golden brown color, they are finished, and they should peel off easily. If they stick to the parchment paper, bake for additional 10 minutes. And last but not least, enjoy the monkey chips. The monkey chips are a healthy snack because they moderate blood sugar levels, help with digestive health, and are a great source of antioxidants. Thank you.
And last but not least, Brina Spear with her apple sandwiches.
Hello, my name is Brina Spear, and for my Healthy Food Snack project, I've made apple sandwiches. I chose to present my project by making a video, and I hope you enjoy it.
Now, Brina chose to present her project via video. Unfortunately, we are having some technical difficulties, but it was amazing. And I believe she took 2 apples, sliced them up, rubbed peanut butter on it, and sprinkled some raisins. And in the video, she even sprinkle, smushes it together. And is it plant? Oh, cute. And at the end, she is really enthusiastic about how good it tastes. And I actually asked Brina the other day if it was any good, and she says that now she makes this on a regular basis at home. So that was a positive outcome from that. So, oh. Sorry, guys. Well, since I had some time, again, we're just honored to be here to present one of the many exciting and fun and engaging activities that we do in the Health and PE department down at the middle school. In recent news, the Poquoson Middle School was just awarded a grant from the Poquoson Education Foundation, to start a new cardio drumming unit in PE this year. So hopefully we can come back soon and do a little drumming exercise for you all. So. Yeah? All right, you guys can have a seat. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, my name is Brina Spear, and today we're going to be making apple sandwiches. This is what they look like. First, you get your apple slices. The apples are good for you because they have fiber and antioxidants. After you get your apple slices, you're gonna get your organic peanut butter. The organic peanut butter is good for you because it has a oxalic acid, which is a healthy type of monounsaturated fat. You're gonna spread it on there. So watery. I'm gonna spread on the other one too. Next, you're gonna get some raisins. The raisins are good for you because they are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. They are gonna sprinkle them. Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. And you're gonna put the other one on top. And there you go. You have an apple sandwich. Oh, that's good.
Have any additions or modifications to the agenda?
We do not this evening.
Okay, next up is recognitions. Dr. Parrish.
Yes. We have a number of those this evening, which makes it a very exciting school board meeting for us. The first one, though, I'd like to do is recognize the senior of the month. So if Jacqueline Freeman would please come forward. She's the high school student of the month. This exceptional student plans to pursue a major in the medical field. She has excelled academically, taking multiple advanced placement courses while attending Poquoson High School, as well as attending the Governor's School for Science and Technology. She is a member of the Poquoson High School Leo Club, Mu Alpha Theta, French Honor Society, Chess Club, and Fellowship of Christian Students. McKay uses her leadership skills as a member of the Poquoson Islander Marching Band and has served as a drum major for 2 years. She enjoys performing at high school football games as well as year-round competitions. She also loves to volunteer at the local public library and participates in her church's praise band. She has not yet made a college decision, but is close to doing so. Please join me in congratulating Jacqueline McKay Freeman for being the Senior of the Month. Next, we'd like to recognize a gentleman who was selected as the Volunteer of the Month for January, but was unable to attend that meeting. So if Branson Matheson could come forward, please. Mr. Matheson is a graduate of Poquoson High School and the parent of 2 students who attend PHS. Since the fall of 2017, Mr. Matheson has devoted countless efforts to support the PHS Chorus Program, serving as a member of the PHS Chorus Boosters and as the stage production manager for the Evolution Show Choir. He can often be found in the evenings and on weekends helping to design and build sets for shows, as well as coordinating the light and sound technology for all PHS Chorus productions. He tirelessly chaperones and assists with chorus activities and manages the students involved in Evolution Show Choir stage crew, while also teaching them valuable technical skills. When asked about his volunteer work, Mr. Matheson noted that he finds true joy in working with the students and sees his work as a way to give back to a choral program that meant so much to him during his time as a student at the high school. On top of his work to support the PHS Chorus Program, Mr. Matheson devotes time to serve as a guest speaker for classes and supports his 2 sons at PHS, Devin and Jordan. Poquoson High School appreciates all that Mr. Matheson does to support our students, and we are thrilled to recognize him as the January 2019 Volunteer of the Month. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Matheson. I now would like to recognize the Volunteer of the Month, and this comes from Poquoson Middle School. We actually are recognizing a team this evening. So if Fran and Ted and Bossani could come forward, please. Fran and Ted Imbasani arrived in Poquoson 3 years ago. Since that time, both have volunteered in the school district as well as in the community. Mr. and Mrs. Imbasani became active members of the PTO and attend meetings regularly. Fran served as the PTO treasurer at the high school for 2 years and now is the hospitality committee chair at the middle school while serving as a co-chair for the high school. Mr. and Mrs. Imbasani attend all lunch periods once a quarter to distribute frozen treats to students for making the honor roll. They also help set up and distribute special goodies and delicious lunches for the PMS staff appreciation throughout the year. They provide assistance at our annual Battle of the Classes event by helping with admission, collecting canned foods, and selling concessions. Mrs. Imbasani has coordinated the sales and distribution of all the spiritware sold at Poquoson Middle School this year. Both frequently chaperone dances, band and chorus events, and many other school activities. Outside of school, Mrs. Mbasani also serves as an assistant Girl Scout leader for Poquoson Troop 1120. In addition to her work with the schools, Fran enjoys knitting and crochet and donates many recreations to the American Heart Association and to St. John of Arc Church, where she's a member. He has coached the recreational soccer and has assisted coaches on both baseball and football Little League teams. Mr. Bassani currently serves as the athletic director for American Legion Post number 73 in Poquoson, where he's a member. He also serves as a chaplain at the Yorktown Poquoson DAV Post number 13, where he's also a member. He's volunteered as a Cub Scout den leader of Pac 12 for Poquoson and is currently an assistant scoutmaster of Boy Scout Troop 28 in Poquoson. They are parents of 7 children, 2 currently in the school district, and 6 grandchildren with number 7 on the way. Please join me in congratulating them for being selected as our Volunteers of the Month. And accept my apologies, I tried to get the name right, but I'm sure I did not, so. Next, we'd like to recognize our All Virginia Middle School Honors Choral students. Poquoson Middle School has selected 2 students that were selected to be a part of the 2019 All Virginia Middle School Honors Chorus. Over 1,000 students auditioned for this opportunity. The choir is composed of the best singers from grades 6 to 8 from the entire Commonwealth of Virginia. First, I'd like to ask Emily Camp to come forward. Emily is an 8th grade student at Poquoson Middle School. In her free time, she enjoys listening to music, drawing, and ice skating. Emily would like to attend the Brit School for Performing Arts and Technology in London, England after graduation. Now I'd like to ask Genevieve Ingram to come forward, please. You can stay up there. Emily, go ahead and stay. Genevieve is a 7th grade student at Poquoson Middle School. She is a member of the Poquoson Middle School Music Club, and she enjoys playing the piano and being a role model for her 2 younger sisters. Genevieve is considering joining the Navy after graduation. Please join me in congratulating both of our All Virginia Middle School Honors Chorus members. Congratulations to both of you. Tonight, we also are here to recognize our wrestlers who are very successful in the state tournament. So tonight, I'd like to recognize the individual accomplishments first and then the team. Our wrestling team had another successful season this year, winning the Norfolk Academy Classic and Region 2A tournament. The wrestling team also placed 9 wrestlers in the top 6 out of the 13 wrestlers that qualified en route to winning the Team 2019 State Championship. Let us now recognize those wrestlers who finished in the top 3 in the state. As I call your name, please come forward. I'd like to start, please, with Brand Smith. He is a sophomore and won the state championship at the 106-pound weight class. Coran finished the season with a 37-5 record. He also placed first at the Norfolk Academy Classic and at the Region 2A tournament. Next, I'd like to ask that Brett Poltney come forward. Brett is a senior and won the state championship at a 113-pound weight class for a 2nd consecutive year. Brett had another outstanding season, finishing the year with a 37-3 record. Brett also finished first at the Norfolk Academy Classic and Region 2A state tournament. Brett maintains a 4.02 GPA and plans on attending Virginia Tech University with a major in engineering. Next, I'd like to ask Cole McCormick to come forward, please. Cole is a junior and won first place at the state wrestling tournament at the 120-pound weight class. Cole finished the year with a record of 35-5. Cole was also the Spartan Slam, Joe V. Memorial, and Region 2A champion. Next, I'd ask that Joseph Chiappese come forward, please. He's a freshman with a 33-10 record and finished 2nd at the state tournament in the 138-pound weight class. Joseph also finished 4th at the Norfolk Academy Classic, Jovi Memorial, and 3rd at the 2A Region Tournament. Next, I'd like Jake Williams to come forward, please. Jake is a junior who finished 3rd at the state tournament in the 152-pound weight class. Jake is now a 2-time state place finisher after finishing 4th as a sophomore. Jake finished the season with a 33-10 record with 17 pins. Please join me in congratulating these young men for their accomplishments at the state tournament and in other matches prior to that. I'm going to actually have you all return back to your seat because you're going to have to come back up again and get another plaque. Or if you could hand that off to somebody, that would be fantastic. Now I'm going to ask that the wrestling team come forward as I call each person. So we'll get quite a few of you up here. So if you can kind of stay close together, that would be fantastic. So we can get you all in the camera view. Cody Mitchell. Evan Graham. Braden Backus. Colton Hicks. Caden Mason. Conrad Johnson. Cordell Johnson. Jake Williams. Bobby Long. Stephen Parker. Joseph Chiappese. Cole Parks. Trevor Wiggins. Cole McCormick. Brett Poltney. Karan Smith. Colton Bark. Landon Householder. Eli Tiga. Severin Vandervender. Samuel Bliga. Brian Major. Curtis Johnson. And Mason Pruitt. I'll also ask that our coaches come forward. Coach Eric Decker. Assistant coaches Kendall Ridenour. Mike McCormick. Glenn Parks. And Chad Poltney. Please joining me in giving a big congratulations to all of our students and coaches for another successful season and for in the 2nd year in a row winning the 2019 2A state championship. You all may sit down, sorry. We have one more recognition related to wrestling, and now what we would like to do is recognize our coach. We're very excited to recognize Mr. Eric Decker for his selection by the National Federation of State High School Associations as the Virginia Coach of the Year for Boys Wrestling. Coach, if you'd please come forward. He was selected for his leadership, commitment to the shaping of student athletes, and positive contributions to the community. Coach Decker is recognized as a true leader within the wrestling and high school coaching communities. Coach Decker began his coaching career at Poquoson High School in 2009 as an assistant coach and transitioned to the role of head coach in 2012, including winning the 2018 and 2019 state titles. When asked to describe his favorite part of coaching, he responded that it is watching our athletes evolve and achieve the things they never thought were possible. Almost all of our athletes enter our room with self-doubt and what they think they are capable of accomplishing. Eventually, as they progress and go through our process, things begin to click, which is truly a joy to witness. This could be as simple as successfully hitting a new move in a match or as big as winning a state championship. I get more joy out of watching our athletes accomplish their goals than I did when I accomplished my own as an athlete. In addition to his role as the Poquoson High School wrestling coach, Mr. Decker serves as a financial reporting supervisor, as well as a devoted husband and the father of 2 children who are often seen at every wrestling tournament. Congratulations, Coach Decker, on being named the NFSHS Virginia Wrestling Coach of the Year. Please join me in congratulating him one more time. And we do have one other recognition that is not on the agenda because she types the agenda and we didn't want to put it on, ask her to type her own recognition. But this is School Board Appreciation Week and School Board Clerk Appreciation Week. So we do want to recognize Mrs. Lena Reimers for all of the work that she does supporting our school board and our school division. Thank you.
At this time, we'll take a break so we can meet with you.
A lot of them, yep. Okay, next up is presentations and reports. And first, we'll have financial update with Ms. Woodruff.
Good evening, Chairman Carter, members of the school board, and Dr. Parrish. For the finance report this evening, I want to provide you an update on the budget. The House and Senate committees have released their budgets, and we received the VDOE calc tool based on these. The General Assembly will consider their recommendations while the session continues. Both the House and Senate provide less revenue than what was included in the governor's budget. The House budget was $16,933 less than the governor, which is primarily because of the salary increase. The House recommends that the additional 2% salary increase for SOQ-funded positions would be effective January 2020 instead of the full year that the governor recommended. The Senate budget was $72,365 less than the governor, which is primarily because of providing less supplemental lottery per pupil funding. The Virginia General Assembly session should end on February 23rd, and we will receive the final calc tool shortly thereafter. Our most recent health insurance estimate is an 11.3% increase, which would cost $254,299. As you may recall, we initially projected a 14% increase, so this is $46,916 less than the initial projection. Next week, we will meet with the Benefits Committee to determine if we can make any changes to the plans to further reduce the costs. And here are some important upcoming dates related to the budget process. As I previously mentioned, the General Assembly session should end on February 23rd, and we will receive the final calc tool shortly thereafter. This is what we will use for the superintendent's proposed budget, which will be presented to you at the work session on March 19th. There will be a public hearing on the superintendent's proposed budget here on March 26th. At this meeting, the school board can vote for budget approval. However, if budget approval is not made at this meeting, you will need to hold a special meeting on March 28th for budget approval so we can deliver the approved budget to the city by the end of March. And that concludes my report.
Questions, comments there?
Were those numbers cumulative, or the House and Senate version of the reduction in the budget? Are those, we're going to add those together, or is that just a proposal, or how's that work out in the end?
They each do a proposal to their, the House and the Senate. So then what happens is they go for the full committee, the General Assembly, to review it, and then the governor comes back with the final budget.
Okay, thank you.
They're actually currently, there's a conference, a budget conference committee, which has representatives of both the House and the Senate. So they're currently working in conference to determine what now, as a single entity, the General Assembly, what their budget proposal is, and then it will go to the governor's desk, and he then would be the next to take action on it.
Thank you.
Has it been that far apart in the past? I don't recall.
In certain years, it has been that far apart. Sometimes it's actually been more further apart. Sometimes it's been the reverse, where the House budget is a little bit, it is as it is, or been the reverse, where the Senate budget is better for schools than the House budget is. So it just varies from the governor's can be up above, in the middle, below. So I would say the Senate budget would be, at this point, obviously the worst case scenario. So we would envision that it wouldn't be any worse than that. Hopefully better. Just how much better, we do not know. In terms of the decrease in the cost for the health insurance plan, we still want to see if we can decrease a little more, since, as we talked in our work session, and I know it's important to you, is to try and get a raise to all of our employees. We're trying to do the best that we can so we can get a number that will make it workable and also enable us to get support from the city.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And Mr. Pappas is out this evening for an operations update, but we'll move to the PMS modernization project. Dr. Parrish.
Yes, so Mr. Pappas is unable to be here because he's ill this evening, but we do have with us two representatives of Waller, Todd, and Sadler, and we're very excited. At your special meeting last week, you approved for me to execute a contract with them, so they will be doing our architectural and engineering work as we begin the process of renovating the middle school. So they are here this evening just to say a few words and answer any questions that you may have. So I would just ask if Mr. Howard Collins and Ms. Maureen McElfresh could come forward to the podium, and they'll just share a few words, and that way our viewing audience will get faces to the names and know that we're really doing this.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and Dr. Parrish. Again, I'm Howard Collins. This is Maureen McElfresh. We're from Waller, Todd & Sadler Architects in Virginia Beach. We are a 65-year-old company. We were started in the mid-'60s by John Waller. We are architects and engineers and interior designers, and one of our specialty is school design. In our history, we have completed 50 new school designs, 37 elementary schools, 3 high schools, and 10 middle schools. Of those middle schools, we have many modernizations, modernization studies, 153 modernizations or renovations of schools. So we're no strangers to school design and the operations that go into that. In addition to modernization projects, we've also done 24 modernization studies, and that's where I'd like to turn it over to Maureen, because we did the modernization study for your Poquoson Middle School a few years back, and she can go into a little bit more detail on where that left off and where we're going to start tomorrow in a meeting with Dr. Parrish tomorrow afternoon.
Thanks, Howard.
So hi, I'm Maureen. So back in 2012, we worked with the school system to do a feasibility study on Poquoson Middle School, and we went through a series of exercises to determine what the needs were for the school, including, in the culmination of the study was a series of options, which I believe the school board studied and took action on. It laid out different options in terms of what repairs are needed and all the way through possible new construction. So from that study, we were able to determine really what the conditions are in the school, and so we're really happy to be continuing on work with you and to come to fruition some modernization for the school itself. So we plan to have meetings starting this week with Dr. Parrish, and I believe start a selection committee, or not a selection committee, but a steering committee for the school, and so that we can move forward.
Questions, comments? Coming out the other night, and very much.
Thank you.
Next,
See you tomorrow.
Yes.
next is an instructional update with Dr. Fox.
Good evening, Chairman Carter, Vice Chair Sheeler, board members, and Dr. Parrish. My update for you this evening is a short review of the recent testing changes and their impact on final exams, as well as information about our K-12 instructional night. I do ask for your patience tonight, as this will be just a little bit longer than normal. If you recall, in December, we shared information with you regarding recent testing changes that would impact high school students this school year. These changes stemmed from the Virginia's Every Child Succeeds Act application being accepted in May of 2018, and specific guidance coming from the Virginia Department of Education in November of 2018. Information was shared with staff in December, and a committee met to discuss the impact of these changes on the June 2019 final exams. We also posted information to the high school webpage to include a full presentation with an explanation of all of these changes. Under the standards of accreditation, students shall no longer be required to take an end-of-course SOL if they have earned the number of verified credits required for graduation. unless the test is necessary for the school to meet federal accountability requirements. So in the past, any student who was enrolled in a course with an end-of-course SOL test, for example, classes such as earth science, biology, chemistry, world geography, world history, USVA history, Algebra 1, geometry, and Algebra 2, they would take that end-of-course SOL test. They were enrolled in the course, you take the test. This new requirement means that even if students are enrolled in a course where there is an end-of-course SOL test, the student will only take the end-of-course SOL test if they need it to earn a verified credit. So that means you could be sitting in one of those classes and not need the verified credit, which means you wouldn't take the test. So what does this mean for our students? So a reminder that a verified credit is earned when a student passes the class and then passes the corresponding end-of-course SOL test. For students currently in grades 10, 11, and 12 earning a standard diploma, 6 verified credits are required. And for the advanced diploma, 9 are required. For those students that are in 9th grade currently, they need 5 verified credits for both the standard and the advanced diploma. For students currently in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, school counselors are conducting verified credit audits to determine the number of verified credits earned and needed to date. If a student has met the number of verified credits and are enrolled in a course where there is an end-of-course SOL test, then the student will not take the test. If the student has not earned all of their verified credits that they need, they will need to take an end-of-course SOL test in May. Students in the 9th grade will take an end-of-course SOL test in their math, their science, and their social studies class this year. And finally, all students in 11th grade will take the English reading and writing end-of-course SOL tests, as those are still required. The writing test will take place the week of March 5th, and the reading test will be in May. As a part of the changes to testing, the state has explicitly stated that school divisions can no longer tie incentives, such as exam exemptions, to the scores on their SOL tests. So this means for PCPS that we can no longer offer exam exemptions that are tied to our end-of-course SOL tests. Therefore, we've got to have some discussions about current exam exemptions. The standards of accreditation also state that students cannot take additional end-of-course SOL tests beyond those required for verified credits or to meet the federal requirements. So this means they cannot do that to earn an exemption. This means for our students that they cannot take an additional SOL test that they do not need for the sole purpose of gaining an exam exemption. Because of these changes, a committee of teachers and staff met in January to discuss the impacts of final exams for June of this year. As a result of the rich conversations and discussions regarding various options, the committee's recommendation is that PCPS make all final exams optional for students in June of 2019. If a student chooses to take the final exam, then the score will count towards his or her final grade. In your packet tonight, you have a reading file with additional information, and you'll be voting on this change later in the meeting. Ongoing conversations about final exams beyond this school year will take place over the next few months, with teachers, staff, students, and parents providing input. And finally, tonight, we want to invite you on March the 7th to our K-12 Instructional Showcase Night. This is our second annual event. It will be at 6 o'clock that evening at Poquoson High School. You'll have a chance to walk around and interact with students and teachers as they share some of the great work that they've been doing this year. We encourage all of our students and parents to join us. And this concludes my report for this evening.
Questions? The optional exam or the optional exam is strictly tied.
For this year, yes.
Yes, for this year,
Yeah.
yes, right. Okay, and other discussions will be held.
And I'm going to jump in. I don't envision the midterm exams, but what the committee will work on through the course of the spring of, as she had said, teachers and parents and students, that they'll be focused on exams for the long term. So this was, we needed to do something now for this June because of the change in regulations based on the ESSA application that was accepted. And then this committee will come forward with some recommendations for this year so that we've got some time to really delve into it and think about it, but we needed to do something.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you very much, Dr. Fox. Any public comment? Ms. Sheila, could you walk us through the consent agenda, please?
Yes. The consent agenda includes the following: approval of financial reports, approval of personnel action, authorization to change appropriation and to accept and expend funds in accordance with request, authorization to dispose of surplus property, approval of minutes of the January regular meeting and the work session, and approval of minutes of the public forum on the budget on January 29th.
Thank you, ma'am. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Second? And Ms. Reimers, could you call for a vote, please?
Mr. Holcomb?
Aye.
Ms. Mosteller?
Aye.
Ms. Hessel?
Aye.
Mr. Troutman?
Aye.
Vice Chair Sheeler?
Aye.
Chairman?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
And other matters for consideration, item A, consideration change in final exam exemptions for June 2019 as a result of recent state changes. I have a motion to approve. Second?
Second.
Any questions or comments there about that? Thank you, Ms. Reimers. Could you call for a vote, please?
Mr. Holcomb? Ms. Mosteller?
Aye.
Ms. Hessel?
Aye.
Mr. Troutman?
Aye.
Vice Chair Sheeler?
Aye.
Chairman Carter?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Item B, consideration of approval of a proclamation for National School Breakfast Week and Career and Technical Education Month. So for National School Breakfast Week, over 8 million students in the United States participate in the National School Breakfast Program. Students who eat complete breakfast have been shown to make fewer mistakes and work faster in math exercises than those who eat a partial breakfast. And studies also show that students who skip breakfast are more likely to have difficulty distinguishing among similar images. They show increased errors and have slower memory recall. Career and Technical Education Month. Career and technical education are part of the foundation of a strong, well-educated workforce that fosters productivity in business and industry, contributes to Virginia's leadership in the international marketplace. It also offers individuals lifelong opportunities to learn new skills and provide more career choices, expanded earning potential, greater job satisfaction. So do I have a motion to approve those two proclamations? And a second? Any comments there? Questions? All right, Ms. Reimers, could you call for a vote, please?
Mr. Holcomb?
Aye.
Ms. Mosteller?
Aye.
Ms. Hessel?
Aye.
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 Carter?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
And communications, Dr. Parrish, would you kick us off, please?
Yes, first I'd like to start in, as we recognize Mrs. Reimers, I also wanted to recognize each one of you. This is in fact School Board Appreciation Month, and I'm not sure those who may be viewing this or community members understand the time that you put into attending meetings and some of the other events. So I just want to thank you for what you do for our students and for our schools, and know that you're appreciated by many as you miss some family time at home and sometimes work as well to come and support our school division. I also want to thank anybody who may be watching us, supported our career fair. It was very successful at the high school. We had a number of community members and business people there interacting with our students, and it was a positive experience for all. And we got great feedback from students as well as teachers and the folks that participated in the career fair and represented their career clusters. Also, I just wanted to remind people, now that we are moving forward with the middle school project, that on our website, we do have web pages dedicated to the middle school renovation project. So it's a good way to keep yourself up to date on how the project is moving forward. Obviously, we'll be doing that regularly at school board meetings as well. But if you go on to the Poquoson City Schools webpage, if you look under news items, you'll see there, right there, the link that will take you to that page, which has information updated regularly as we have that available. Also, as you could see from Mrs. Woodruff's budget meeting, we still have quite a bit of work to do, but look forward to at least getting some information from Richmond that will be concrete, and that way we'll know exactly what we'll be getting from the state for next year. And on everybody's mind this evening is probably nothing else that I've talked about except for the weather. So I do want to remind everybody that we do make any weather decisions as best as we can by 6 in the morning. So if for some reason we do get in weather, we will have that decision pushed out to everybody. Although the weather reports that we're seeing, I remain optimistic it won't have an impact on us, but I've been asked about it, so I thought I should mention that this evening. So, those are all my comments this evening, Chairman Carter.
Thank you, ma'am. Brendan?
Thank you. The first report comes from the primary school and Ms. Grisco. Poquoson Primary School has been busy in the last month. Our teachers showcased their own professional growth during the staff professional development on the half-days in late January. Our teachers have been working with TTAC ODU twice a month since August to build on their math instructional practices. Teachers presented their learning, student progress, and next steps for their work to the rest of the staff. We welcomed 86 upcoming kindergarten students and their families with our kindergarten registration kickoff event. Please tell your family and friends to come to our school office to register new kindergarten students. Our students celebrated 100 days of learning on Valentine's Day, and we are so proud of their progress so far this year. This morning, we celebrated 42 bucket-filling students with our monthly bucket filler breakfast. Students were nominated by their classroom teachers for having kind, bucket-filling behavior, and students made phone calls home with Mrs. Grisco and Mrs. Spence to share their good news. We are getting ready for Read Across America Week next week with Real Men Read on Tuesday morning, and our annual Family Book Fair night Wednesday evening, February 27th. Our students have enjoyed participating in our plastic recycling project, which has brought in over 500 pounds of plastic for recycling through the Trex Company partnership. Our students have also been working on writing essays for the Poquoson Public Library Essay Contest, and the Poquoson Public Library is providing books to students who are purchasing breakfast Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. We are so grateful for the support of our families and community. The next report comes from the elementary school and Dr. Wood. On January 28th, while students had a day off, staff at PES were engaged in professional development on the topics of analyzing quarterly reading data, exploring the many uses of number lines in mathematics, and learning more about supporting behavioral expectations of students through the use of the Virginia Tiered Systems of Support. On February 4th, the PHS SCA came and spent the lunch block at PES with our students, talking to them about what kindness means to them. The high school students had prepared a PowerPoint which allowed the PES students to participate in sharing their answers and the picking a gift from a table full of fun items. The high school SCA members also circulated through the cafeteria, handing out small pieces of paper shaped like hearts, where the students could write about a time they were kind or when someone was kind to them. The hearts were attached to banners which were hung the every grade level pods so the students could read and reflect about what kindness means to them. On February 8th, PES had its second quarter award ceremony where many parents and extended family members came to see the students rewarded for their hard work. In each class, teachers handed out certificates for A Honor Roll, AB Honor Roll, Most Improved, and Bulls Don't Bully. It was great to see the happy faces of the people who supported the students and staff of PES. So far, the month of February has been a month of celebrations. The next report comes from the middle school and Ms. Bunting. Poquoson Middle School is conducting parent information nights for our rising 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students during the month of February. Topics covered during these events include course information, the registration process, and preparing students for high school and beyond. The PMS Library is gearing up to host Oscars for Books on February 22nd. Students create book-shaped cakes decorated with scenes from their favorite books. All students are invited to participate, and cake pans are available in the library to be checked out. 8th grade students are preparing for the Writing SOL on March 5th and 6th using interactive review activities and writing programs that provide immediate feedback, allowing students to adjust and modify their work. 7th grade students are engaged in learning about World War I by reading a graphic novel in English classes titled Treaties, Trenches, Mud, and Blood, in preparation for an upcoming author visit and writing about trench warfare in their U.S. history classes. Sixth grade band and chorus students have been creating videos and writing letters to encourage fifth graders to become a part of the PMS music program. Our all-in bullying prevention program will focus on responsibility for the third quarter. At the beginning of the quarter, students were introduced to Captain Responsible and his mission to recognize and inspire responsible behavior throughout the halls of Poquoson Middle School. PMS faculty and staff are assisting the captain in his mission by awarding golden tickets to students for displaying responsible behavior. Responsibility quotes from superheroes and notable historic figures are shared on the announcements each morning. The final report comes from the high school and Dr. Syak. The PHS Bulls are often running into a second semester, both in and out of the classroom. Students are engaged in meaningful learning experiences across the curriculum. For example, students in advanced math explored the mathematics associated with escaping real-life debt situations. Students in economics and personal finance courses designed their dream spring break, along with detailed budget and logistics outlines. Students in driver's education investigated an electric car and also received a visit from the No Zone program through Walmart to highlight 18-wheeler vehicle safety and awareness. Additionally, all students were exposed to a variety of career fields through the first PCPS Secondary Career Fair. In addition to speaking with a host of professionals who sparked interest in elective courses options at PHS that are associated with specific career paths, students viewed a video highlighting course elective options that was developed by students in our digital marketing course. Our Islanders are also excelling in their extracurricular activities, as students brought home a host of awards from the local DECA competition, as well as all-district band and choir competitions, with numerous students earning all-state honors. Islanders reached the postseason in every winter sport with an outstanding showing at the state swim meet and state wrestling tournament. Looking to the future, the SEA is bringing our school community together by sponsoring Springfest for the third year in a row, which will occur on Saturday, March 9th, and all students are encouraged to attend. Students are also encouraged to be on the lookout for a variety of fun events to celebrate Read Across America Week during the first week of March. Finally, Poquoson High School would like to thank the Poquoson Education Foundation for the ongoing support and the generous awarding of numerous grants to support creative instructional ideas. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Holcomb.
I'd like to add my personal recognition tonight to you, Ms. Reimers. I hope I'm not personally responsible for half your workload myself. But what you do is probably a little thankless, but without your organization, we never have a meeting, probably outside of our Tuesday meetings. And I really appreciate what you do, your text and your email, and you're trying to find us all the time. I just really appreciate your work, so thank you very much. Thank you.
I'd like to echo Wayne's statements. Lena, thank you for everything.
Ms. Helson.
I jumped ahead of you, I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. You knew what was coming.
Thank you for all your help. And I just want to say, I think Mr. Baker's sixth graders did a great job tonight. I'll be going home making some of those recipes.
Step it up.
So, yeah, and also it's that time of year, and I know I've seen on the news, luckily not us, have closed because of flu, so keep on watching.
Mr. Troutman.
Yeah, so I had a chance today at lunch to attend the United Way campaign finish celebration lunch. And two of our students from our high school were recognized for their kindness essays. So just wanted to publicly congratulate Chloe Dupree and Gabe Ford for second and third place award recognition in the kindness essay at United Way. That was announced as well. Beyond that, I echo all the thanks to Anna and all that you do for us. So thank you very much. And of course, I always see all my favorite principals in the back of the meeting room. So thank you for what you guys are doing. It's fun for us up here to sit here and watch all the kids that come up and get a chance to be at the middle school with cool food, or the high school wrestling team, or the music group, and seeing how much the volunteers love being in the schools. That has a lot to do with your leadership, so thank you again for everything that you do.
Yes, I have to agree that it is really fun on a board where we can recognize programs like the Healthy Snack Project. I am so hungry for a sandwich with the apples and the peanut butter and the raisins. It's right on my agenda as soon as I get home. I'm also very excited about the middle school modernization. I was reading recently about how Gloucester High School needs renovations and a long, arduous process that they're going through. And it makes me thank, once again, our town council for working with us to fund our middle school modernization. Very excited to get that started.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Reimers, thanks for all you do. And I was talking with her during the intermission about our volunteers, and I said, how do they have time to eat? And it's month after month, and I just don't know how they do all that they do. And it reminded me that Martin Luther King Jr. once said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And we're blessed and fortunate to have a seemingly endless supply of people in this community who would have no problem answering that question, could just drone on about the things that they do for others. And we're sitting up here looking at that, and I can look to my left and right and see examples of that, and we present plaques, and that's just scratching the surface. So just, and with the kindness essay that was read our inspirational reading tonight, I would encourage everybody to just make sure that you can answer that question and keep talking until whoever asks it is tired of listening. That you just drone on and on and on about all the things that you do for others. And it's all about servitude and makes the world go round, and it will come back and benefit you one day. So with that, do we have any material for board review?
We do not this evening.
And we will adjourn. Thank you all.